Game theory is the idea that the choices you make can be reduced to mathematical formulas, and optimal choices can be calculated. Look at the game I'm playing right now. It's called Golden Balls. Well regarded as probably the most brutal game show ever devised for British television. Golden Balls forces its contestants to make a simple choice: split the jackpot with their opponent or steal the lot for themselves. Both players have to make the choice simultaneously, secretly, and with finality. They have no control over what their opponent does, besides whatever pleas, bargains and lies they're able to exchange prior to the choosing. And the game only has 3 outcomes. 1. Both players pick split and share the jackpot. 2. One player picks steal and takes the entire jackpot. Or 3. Both players pick steal and receive nothing. In other words, Golden Balls is a classic prisoner's dilemma, the most famous problem in game theory. Assuming your opponent is a pretty cool, sexy, rational person like yourself, what should you choose? Send your votes now to this email address. Yeah, you steal. Game theory dictates that stealing is always the best option. Why? Because stealing leads to either a win or a draw, while splitting is either a draw or a loss. It has nothing to do with whether it's better to be a greedy bastard or a nice person. The mathematically rational choice is to steal. However, if both players play rationally, as game theory assumes, then both players will arrive at this conclusion. They will both pick steal and win nothing. This is known as the Nash equilibrium, where neither player would have anything to gain from making any other choice. It was first proposed by Professor John Nash, the schizophrenic mathematical genius played by Gladiator. However, the reason the prisoner's dilemma is so, dilemma-y is because the most favourable outcome is of course both players splitting, but the best choice is to steal. And so this leads to a rational paradox, where your best choice on paper most often leads to your least desirable outcome. But the life game is not played on paper. In life, people are allowed to talk, to converse, to coerce, to tattle, persuade, manipulate and guilt trip. The dialogue aspect of Golden Balls makes it truly compelling entertainment, adding a whole new factor that completely skews rational game theory. One analysis of the TV show's 289 glorious episodes found that across all games and players, split was chosen approximately 53% of the time, with only 47% of players choosing